Hello, everybody. My name's Isaiah, and today I've got an interesting topic to talk about, and it's in regards to Lorne Armstrong. And what I'm going to ask you is, was Lorne destined for this? And talking about destiny, it brings up different beliefs for different people. I mean, in regards to religion, I know for a fact you can easily say God doesn't exist, but you can't be 100% sure he doesn't exist. You can be 99.9% sure he doesn't exist, but you can't be 100% sure. You can't definitively know he doesn't exist. And that's like all theories, like the Big Bang Theory. It's not 100%, it's just a theory. And the reason I'm telling you this is in regards to people's destinies and whether people are destined to do things. It seems pretty far-fetched in some instances, but I mean, you can't just deny it. We aren't at a level of intelligence to just come out and say destiny isn't real. It's not something that exists. It's make-believe. I mean, you can be 99.9% sure, but there's still that 0.1% chance that maybe we are heading in a direction via, what could it be? Entropy, maybe something's attracting us to do certain things. But enough of that, enough of delving into all that bullshit. What I'm trying to say is, if destiny does exist, was Lorne Armstrong destined to be an infamous online public figure? I mean, I don't want to call him a celebrity. I refuse to call him a celebrity. We'll just call him sort of like an online public figure, personality, sort of character. I mean, he does have a following, he has a community backing him. And if he wasn't caught in the sting, I always wonder how his life would have ended up, how he would have turned out. I mean, I know he wouldn't have become a country music star, but I always wonder, like, would he have just lived his life normally? Or was he destined to become one of the most trolled person? You could argue he's one of the most trolled person in the world. Like, he gets, his life is completely ruined. People do prank calls about him, people analyze him. Maybe not the most trolled person in the world, but he gets it pretty tough. I mean, you got to admit, there are a lot of people who get trolled in this world, and I'd put myself as Lorne Armstrong last in the list. So, in regards to that, you can say he's probably maybe not the most trolled person in the world, but the trolling is probably the worst. Like, it'd be up there as the worst trolling you could get. Being on To Catch a Predator and a community following you and continually making videos about you, it's pretty bad. But back to what I was saying. Was he destined to be one of these personality online figures who are being trolled? And do you think lornography was always meant to happen? Like, I'm tossing some pretty interesting ideas and theories up into the air here, but just hang on and listen. Like, I know around the time of 2007, he was in Nashville. He wanted to become a country music star. He was doing karaoke. Let's just say he logged off and didn't talk to Kayla. And let's just say, for argument's sake, that he said, "That's it. I'm keeping off the computer. This is bad. I shouldn't talk to little girls." Okay, so it seems like he's not going to go down the path of being a child predator. Although we were just talking about destiny and that he was destined to be an online trolled personality, um, celebrity, whatever. And what happens if, for example, one day he was at karaoke making a fool of himself, and one day someone started filming him, and next minute, the video goes viral and he's being mocked online? That's sort of along the same lines. And I've been starting to think of all these different scenarios where Lorne Armstrong, outside of all the child predator, To Catch a Predator sting, all that sort of scenario, outside of all that, how else could have Lorne Armstrong found himself on the internet being trolled? And I've been thinking of all these different ideas, like, for example, doing karaoke and sounding like shit. Someone maybe would have videotaped it, put it online on YouTube. It might have become like a, sort of like a funniest home videos sort of thing. But it wouldn't have been the scale as lornography. It wouldn't have been as big as To Catch a Predator is and lornography and all that. So the only other thing I can really think of is if he went on American Idol. Now, he was pretty desperate, and American Idol, I think, was roughly around that time when it was lifting off. Um, Maybe, hang on, I'll look it up on my phone. Hang on. I think it was 2004. Yeah, around 2004, maybe even three, maybe even five. So American Idol would have been out for a bit. I feel like Lorne Armstrong would have been one of those guys who went on American Idol and just made a fool of himself, made an absolute mockery of himself. And you know that guy who goes on and goes, she bangs, oh baby, she moves, that guy. And like he sort of he made himself into an online personality and people made fun of him. I think Lorne might have been one of those sort of guys. He would have gone on um, American Idol and he would have come on stage and said, I'm going to be a country music star. Oh my God, I'm going to be the best. And he would have started playing and they would have said no. And I reckon he would have broke down and started crying. And that crying and that tears would have been what set him into being a trolled online personality. And can you just imagine, I can't believe I'm going blank here. What's the judge's name from American Idol? Oh my God, I need to look this up. The guy who wears the black t-shirt. American Idol judge. Oh my God. American Idol, not American Judge. Simon Cowell, that's him. Like, I can imagine Simon just absolutely giving it to him, saying, you're delusional, you can't be a country music singer star at 38, you've got no talent, just give up. And this is where lornography might have sort of existed, is he would have gone, no, no, God, no. Like, he would have started crying, he would have said, I didn't even mean to do it. I didn't even mean to be this bad today. Like, he would have just started, like, getting upset and he would have just bailed off stage and it would have been laughed at. Everyone would be laughing about it. But, like I said, it's been 10 years since To Catch a Predator and I don't think a little hissy fit, teary episode on American Idol would last and be as exciting and, just so good to listen to and read. It wouldn't be as interesting as lornography is, that we know it. So I'm still trying to think, like, I feel like Lorne maybe wasn't destined to be just an online sort of public figure, but rather he was destined to be a trolled child predator. And I think even if it didn't go down with Kayla, if he chickened out, if he came to his senses and realized that there were three different pictures of the decoy, and yes, there are three different pictures. Here it is here. I'll get it up and going. Alright, so right here. This girl and this girl are obviously the same. This girl and this girl are the same. This is a different girl. This is a different girl altogether. I don't care what anyone says. You could even say these two are different. But I'm looking at the jaw and I think they're the same. But these ones are different. So there are 1, 2, 3. So if Lorne came to his senses and realized that yes, there was 3 girls he was getting photos sent to, and he started questioning it and saying, Kayla, something's fishy going on. Why have you sent me different photos? And I think he did say that at one point. He said, there's a nice little gap between these teeth, and then there's another photo where there's no gap. He must have got sent another photo. So he did catch on to it, but he never asked too many questions. He just wanted to. He kept away from reality. He had his own reality, and he thought that this was going to be it. This was a girl, a single girl, he was going to meet and see and sleep with and do whatever he wanted. Um, but let's just say he realized what would have happened. Well, I think he was destined. I've got a feeling he was always going to be the star of Lornography, and Lornography was going to be born, whether or not we wanted it to be born, whether or not that's a question we should be asking. I mean, like, I'd rather Lorne not be a pedophile and there be no Lornography, but if Lorne is a pedophile and he doesn't do anything wrong, like he sort of speaks to a decoy and he gets caught, and it's a good reminder to pedophiles out there not to be like him, and it's also for our amusement, then I guess I would be sort of saying, yeah, let Lornography be born, let it occur. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm just really like, I don't know, torn between the idea whether I think Lornography should be born or not. But let's just say, back to what I was saying, he figures out it's more than one girl, and he says, "Look, I'm leaving. Bye." Logs off. Like, what circumstances would arise for him to be caught again in a sting, or at least caught by some sort of, police officer doing something wrong? And I honestly think it would have been some sort of online case again. And it would have been maybe in a later To Catch a Predator episode, he might have driven interstate. I don't know. But I feel like he was nearly almost destined to be caught on To Catch a Predator. He might have driven to another state. I don't know how close he is. Like, how close is Maine to, like, Flagler Beach? I don't know. Like, oh, well, Bowling Green was the last one, so he might, if Bowling Green finished up and he wasn't caught, he would have gotten scot-free. But, there are stings that still occur, and I still think he would have been caught up in a sting. Like, he was obsessed with talking online. He spoke to Amanda James for like 3 years, something like that, something ridiculous. And at the end of it, he still got sucked into Kayla. And even before that, there were two other decoys. I'm really interested to see why the conversation halted between Disney Girl and Lorne Armstrong and the other decoy. There was three, including Kayla. Did Lorne Armstrong figure out Disney Girl was a decoy, or did Disney Girl just maybe log off and not log back in, and Lorne wished she was still there? I wonder if Lorne preferred Disney Girl over Kayla, because I'm not gonna be mean. Like, I know I can't really say anything, but this child here is going to grow up into a pretty average looking lady. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Um, that's just what I think. I'm not attracted to any kids or nothing. I'm just saying. But maybe Disney Girl might have been more attractive for him, and he might have said, maybe he was waiting for Disney Girl to log back in all those days. I think he did talk to Disney Girl at the same time as Kayla, because I remember Base Shaman saying, I don't know if he saw, actually, Disney Girl's chat log might be out. I feel like I remember Base Shaman talking about it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Base Shaman read Disney Girl's chat log, or at least talked about it. I don't know. Yeah, let me know if Disney Girl's chat log's out, but I feel like he spoke to Disney Girl and Kayla at the same time, and he showed more interest in Disney Girl. So it's interesting to see that. But yeah, let's just say that the To Catch a Predator stings finish, the show ends, Lorne's still online, and Lorne is still as gullible as ever. And if it doesn't go the child predator route, he's going to make a mockery of himself online one way or another. And he's going to do it the other way via scams. He's going to be scammed. I'm telling you, that guy has no idea what people are capable of. He thinks that everyone is what they say they are online. And I tell you, he might have been one of the guys that was going to be scammed by a Nigerian banker. I can't deny that. I can't say he's smart enough to pick up on it, but I truly believe he would have logged on. Nigerian banker wants to deposit some money, give him his bank account details, or send 10 grand to him and he'll send 100 grand back. Lorne might have done it. I mean, he could have ended up on a show where they say, look, here's some idiots who got scammed, and then Lorne Armstrong's on TV going, oh my god, I lost all my money. Well, why did you send him all the money, Lorne? I didn't even mean to do it. Like, I just feel like he was destined to be made fun of online. But the child predator route he went down, where he was caught on to catch a predator, is definitely the way where lornography reached its pinnacle. I can't see Lorne getting more famous than he is now. And when I say famous, I really don't mean the famous that we all believe in. That is like, a famous celebrity, a movie, an actor, a TV show personality. I'm talking like an infamous, like, Instagrammer or, someone who's not really famous, but it just has a community that follows them. That's all he was going to get. The biggest he was ever going to get is this universe we're in right now, this time, this moment, this dimension, whatever you want to say. But this destiny he has chosen, or the destiny that chose him, I guess, for him to be able to catch a predator, was the most famous he was ever going to get. I can't see him getting any more famous. Being scammed and somehow that being leaked online by a YouTube episode or a TV show or something, and him crying on TV, that's one. American Idol, 12 years ago, maybe even 9 years ago, somewhere between 12 and 8 years ago, him crying on stage, it would have died off. It wouldn't have been as interesting as To Catch a Predator, Lornography. And to be honest, that's it. Like, that's the only way he was going to be the most trolled person online. So I feel like the destiny that chose him was the most beneficial for us, in that he's been locked away, he's been monitored online, he's been trolled, his life ruined. It's great. It's absolutely great. Yeah, so, I just want to have a bit of a blabber on about Lorne today. I'm really getting back into Lorne Armstrong, especially since he's got the YouTube going. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. This time next year, Lornography could be dead. Lorne might have deleted his YouTube channel. He might have apologized to everybody, accepted the fact that he did the wrong thing. And we might have just stopped heckling him. Or it could be completely different. I mean, like, imagine if he got caught again and went to jail and there was another chat log, Lornography 2.0. Like, imagine that if a whole new Lornography chapter started. Or imagine if Amanda James, the chat log was found. She comes forward and says, yeah, I went through my old computer and I found the chat logs. I noticed Lorne was a interesting figure at the time, and I said, okay, well, I'm gonna try to find his chat logs, and she finds them and somehow gets them off her computer and posts them into the community. We'd have a whole new Lornography. Like, the way where Lornography can go from now is limitless, but in reality, I can't see it getting any bigger than it has been in the last year or two. When the height of Lornography was definitely you could say when the Holy Grail came out, it was pretty popular. A year before that, also when we were blind, when there was no contact with Lornography, tensions were rising and people were loving Lornography then. It started to drop off a bit after that, but it's definitely dropping off now. And yeah, I just hope to God that. Sorry, just getting a message. I just hope to God Lornography doesn't die completely, because our Lord and Saviour has made contact with us, and our Lord and Saviour will always be a good representation of what will happen to child predators if they get caught. And, if you're a child predator, you deserve to get caught, and you should be destined to be caught. I mean, you don't deserve anything better than that. So, that's the end of that, guys. Thanks for listening. A bit more serious one. A bit of an interesting video. All off the top of my head, so stuff didn't make sense. My apologies. Till next time, boys. See you later.